Hello everybody, so I'm really excited about this video. We're going to be smoking some jalapenos, so let's just jump right in. I'm really excited. Let's go. Okay, so I've got everything just about set up, but before we get into it, I just wanted to talk to you about, smoking and jalapenos. So basically, when you have a jalapeno, you can smoke it and turn that into a chipotle pepper. A lot of people think chipotles are something else. No, they're just smoked and then dried jalapenos. Now, for me, I'm not going to dry them. I'm just going to smoke them really well, and then I'm going to turn them into a hot sauce, which we'll deal with that later. But today, in this video, we're just going to be talking about the smoking. So let's go ahead and have a look at what goes into that, what you need, and how to do it. So obviously, if you want to smoke, your best option would probably be to have an actual smoker. Now, I'm not honored enough to have my own smoker, but I do have a nice big barbecue, a grill. So I'm just going to go ahead and use that. I have done this once before, and it worked out pretty well. So if I can do it, I'm sure you can too. So right here, I've got my charcoal chimney all loaded up with a bit of charcoal, and then my starter's already underneath. So that's going to be ready to get started here in a minute. So I got some really nice hot coals. Then over here, obviously, you've got the wood that you want to use to smoke. There are many different woods that you can use to smoke. On this batch for the jalapenos, I've found that a mix of mesquite as well as apple is really nice. The apple wood just brings in a tremendous amount of flavor, and I think we're all pretty familiar with mesquite smoke. And then all you have to do is take out the amount that you want of your chips, which you do usually need a lot because jalapenos are going to take about 3, maybe 4 hours to smoke completely. So you're going to want a fair bit, and I have this that I'm going to put the chips into, and this is a little smoking box. So basically the chips go in here. There's some holes in there that you can see, and that just allows the heat and the flames from the coals to get through and to start to smolder the wood chips. So you want to take these chips, put them in a bowl of some kind, and then soak them in water for at least 20 to 30 minutes. The more soaked, the more absorbed, the more full of water they are, the longer they'll last, the more they'll smolder, the more they'll smoke. If you just use dry, they're just going to go up in flames as soon as they hit the coals, and they're only going to last about 20 minutes, and you need several hours of this. So you definitely want to smoke those for a good long time. So let's go ahead and get these soaking and get the coals burning. Okay, so all these items really you can find at your local grocery store most likely. So like I just got these chips from my local supermarket. What I like to do is I like to take this burner box and use it as kind of like my measuring cup. So I'm going to measure out 1 full burner box of mesquite, as well as 1 full burner box of apple, because I'm going to need about 2 burner boxes worth of chips, because they're not going to last but maybe about 1.5 to 2 hours. And I need about a 3, probably at least 3, preferably closer to 4 hours worth of burning time, or smoking, I should say. So I'm just going to go ahead and prep 2 of these now, and then we'll have a nice little blend on both batches. And like I said, you definitely want to let these soak for at least 20 to 30 minutes. The longer the better. The more water inside, the longer they'll last, more economical the chips become. So this is just regular old tap water. Doesn't have to be anything fancy. Let's just get those in there. There we go. Ooh, my bowl's not quite big enough. Let me go inside and get a bigger bowl. Okay, so I've got my bigger bowl here that actually fits all the wood chips that I need to do. Now we're just going to add and submerge these in some water. Go. And I just usually kind of pat them around a little bit, make sure they all get covered, and then that's it. You just want to leave this as is for about 20 to 30 minutes or longer if you can or want to. So I'm going to set that over here. And now, while that's doing that, because this too takes about 20 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes, we want to go ahead and get these coals burning. So let me just make sure that this is all nice and angled for everybody. All right, so all you need to do is just get this lit. All right, there we go. So we got that smoking. That is just the pine cones down at the bottom that are smoking, but they're gonna start producing flames, and they'll get those coals all nice and hot, and then we'll be good to go. So that's it for right now. We're gonna go ahead and let the coals get hot, let our chips soak, and right about the same time, these are gonna be done, and then I guess I'll see y'all in about 20 minutes. Okay, so here's what we have so far. These coals are just about ready. The wood chips have been soaking for about 15 minutes now, so I'm gonna let them go for a little bit longer. I got this piece of tin foil here. This is where I'm gonna set my jalapenos, and here are my jalapenos. So all I've done to these guys here is I just gave them a quick little wash, and then I scored them. So along 4 sides, I just took a sharp knife and just cut lines into them. And there's various schools of thought about this. For me, I don't see a problem with it. Other people do have problems with it. I think that it just helps the smoke to permeate, and that's what I'm looking for. So that's what I do. So now what I'm going to do is I'm setting the jalapenos on the far side of the grill here with some fairly even spacing. Just you want to make sure that they're not touching. That's the main part. Sorry, let me get the camera point down there for you. And just because, you know, if they're touching, then that's one spot where the smoke can't reach. But if they're not touching, then the smoke can reach everything. So I got 8 peppers there. That'll be enough. These are some pretty big jalapenos, so this will be enough for a pretty big batch of Chipotle sauce. I reckon probably close to 1 liter, actually, by the time it's all said and done. If last time that I did this is any indication. So, like I said, the coals are almost ready. You can see the, you might be able to see the flame coming out of the top, but you can also see the orange glow from the middle, which is really good. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to let these coals finish firing up, let those chips finish soaking, and then I will drain the chips into this colander where I had my jalapenos, and then I'll transfer them into here and put them onto the hot coals, but we'll check that out in a minute. Okay, for safety reasons, I wasn't able to show you these next few steps. So basically all I did was I took the coals out of my chimney, put them there on this side of the grill, because my jalapenos are on this side, so we don't want them to cook so much as we just want them to smoke. So we want to create as much separation between the two as we can. Then I transferred my soaking chips into the strainer, got all the excess water off, and then put them into my smoking basket. And then I've just placed that smoking basket directly onto the hot coals, and I'm just kind of letting that get started and get some smoking going before I close the lid. And then just a few tips regarding this. So again, like I said, you want to make sure there's as much separation between your coals and your wood chips and whatever it is that you're smoking, jalapenos, meat, what have you. Just because in this instance, you don't necessarily want the items to cook. You just want them to get smoked and have that smoky flavor. So another way to help facilitate the smoking process is once all this is closed up, if you have the ability to do this, open up the vents on the side of your grill or your smoker that the food or whatever it is you're trying to smoke is on. So in this case, I have 2 vents. I have one in my lid here as well as one down here on the side. I'm going to open both of those. That way the smoke is going to be drawn this way across and over the food, and then you just maximize on the smoking capability of your smoking. So that's about it. I'm just going to let these kick off a little bit. It takes a little while for the chips to really properly start smoking. Then all I'm going to do is close the lids and let it smoke. When I notice after a couple hours the smoke has started to die down, I'm going to add the rest of the wood chips on there. But aside from that, now it's just a waiting game. We just got to wait about anywhere between 3 to 4 hours, and then we'll have some smoked jalapenos, aka the Chipotle. Okay, so here we are after about an hour and a half to, I think it's almost 2 hours. The jalapenos are really starting to look good. I'm going to go ahead and give those a turn. As you can see, all of my wood chips on the first batch have been used up. So we're going to go ahead and empty that. Be sure to use tongs. That's obviously very, 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 very hot. And yeah, and then we'll get this restarted. So let's go. Okay, just a few seconds later, and we got the new set of wood chips in there. And I've went ahead and I flipped my jalapeno. So we're all good to go. I'm going to go ahead and close this, and hopefully in another hour and a half to 2 hours, these guys will be done. So here we are. It's about 4 hours in total since we did this. Here's the jalapenos. As you can see, they have gone kind of wrinkly, which is exactly what you want. You also see they've dried a little bit, which is to be expected because obviously they've been in a fairly warm place for several hours. So they have started to dry out a little bit, which that is fine. But the most important thing is that these have been imbued with a wonderful smoky flavor that I cannot wait to use probably tomorrow for making a hot sauce. So I am very, very happy. And I will share the my Chipotle hot sauce recipe with you when I make that. But yeah, this looks great. This is exactly what you should expect when making smoked jalapenos. And there you have it. That's it. It's actually not that hard. A barbecue, some wood chips, some charcoal, and some jalapenos. Throw them on your grill. You can have Chipotle peppers, homemade, beautiful and fresh and flavorful in no time. And trust me, you start throwing them in your cooking, make some hot sauce or throw it into a salsa, or chop it through a chili or something. Oh, it's just going to boost the flavor of your food tremendously. Please give it a shot. If you have any questions about this process, so far I've done it a couple times now, haven't had any issues. I don't want to say that I know everything about this, but so far so good. Everything's worked out perfectly. So if you do have any questions about this, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section down below, and I'll try to get back with you as quickly as I can and help answer any questions you might have. So with that, take it easy, and I'll see you next time.
Hello everybody, thanks for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, be sure to hit that like button down below and share it on Facebook, Google+, Twitter, all that different stuff. Don't forget to also leave a comment down below if you're feeling a bit chatty, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button so you can see more of my videos. So until next time, bye!